wanted a major voters register from several states to be brought to the court. It was never brought, to show that what they did was cooked up. And you can see that even the manifestation.
You're implying that they don't have a full data
registration. They don't have one. So that is where to begin. We must redo that thing, for which all of us can subscribe as having been done rightly. The one they have now suffers so many deficiencies.
Do you think it's possible that they've done a lot of changes that would have led to this 40 million electronic chip-based cards, voters' cards?
I'm saying to you that all those figures are bogus. You can see the thing when the voting, in fact, takes place. They say they have 70 million people who have registered. Most times, the totality of the votes that are cast will not be up to 20. Where are the other 50 million people? It's to prove that adequately without any inhibition. So that's one on voters' registration. So we must do another one. The second one, this composition that my brother and colleague here talked about is too unfair. If it were another set of people, they could have had a lot of foolish talk about tribalism. Look at, I have the figures here. I have the statistics here also. Look at them. The statistics, they're very clear. The statistics are clear.
So what does that say?
12,
yes.
Of 12 major committees, 10 were from the same set of part of the country. Only 2 are from the south. People like us have laid down our lives to restore democracy to Nigeria. This is not what we campaign for. Everything has been messed up. Why should the guy preside over? Look, each time they have appointed national chairman, since 1950s, if they appointed the chairman from the south, they appoint the secretary from the north. The guy is presiding today or INEC. The secretary is also from his own area. And every important committee in INEC currently is populated and presided over by his people. Look at them. Logistics, Colonel Amanga, Adamawa Northeast. Operation, Dr. Nuru Yakubu, Yobe Northeast. Procurement, Ambassador Wali, Sokoto Northwest. Finance and General Purposes, Professor Jiga, KB Northwest. Political ICT, Professor Jiga, KB Northwest. Political Monitoring, Haji Amina Zakari, Jigawa Northwest. So
these are the core.
These are the core committees that will superintend over the election. Let me please tell our people to be very wary about where we are now. You know, just about 3 or 4 weeks ago, there was a major discussion in the US as to the character of our election. Election can be programmed for rigging from the way the electoral management is done. If you now have all these people only from one section of the country, so they can perform whatever they want to do, because they're the managers. So you can, if you deceiving yourself.
Okay, 2011, just look at this. 2011, the candidate that emerged as the winner is not from the north. Does that make any? No, I don't want to trivialize issues.
Please, let me tell you what has happened. Ordinarily, the man sitting in office has an added advantage.
Okay.
Professor Pipa Norris and others at Harvard University of recent, they said this one, and let me quote them. They said, electoral outcomes can be determined by the nature of the management structures which give effect to the implementation of electoral laws. And that's what we are doing now. That, you know, in 1999, we participated in a Abubakar transition program for one major and fundamental reason, that the first business of such a government is to call a sovereign national conference for Nigeria representative to determine 2 questions. One, do you want to remain as one people in Nigeria? Perhaps because of the long period of our interaction. Yes, but it will be on what terms? Modus operandi, rules of engagement. And when you have a waste panel that gave the most brilliant recommendation, don't allow the sitting executive to appoint the electoral umpire. They ignore that. If the guy were to be a gentleman, he was a participant, he was a member of waste report, he ought not to have accepted that job that was given. Now he's asking for so many other powers. That's what they are taking to the National Assembly.
But one of the things he's asking for is independence that makes it look more like the Judicial Commission, where the appointment is not by the
then
president.
He should be willing. He should be willing to follow the procedure that brings the National Judicial Council into office. If the waste report had been accepted and implemented totally, that body would be independent in every material circumstance. Come take a look at what they are doing.
Okay, let's very quickly ask Mr. Omega, what's your thought on what Mr. Okpadogun just said regarding the not just the electoral reform now, but let's home in on the issue. Mr. Omega is there, I guess. If we're to look at the core issue of your registration, the registration of voters, do you have an electoral voters list that is comprehensive and that is not bogus, as being alleged by Mr. Okpadogun?
Well, it is unfortunate that the last speaker has tried to sentimentalize the issues. In fact, if the international community who came here as observers and who observed the voter registration process and have given us a pass mark to the effect that what we did was unprecedented in terms of success, then it beats my imagination as to why Mr. Okpadogun will say what he has just said. He has said it, well, I don't begrudge him. He is entitled to his views, but I think this platform gives me the opportunity to explain to Nigerians what actually happened during the voter registration exercise. It is not true that the machines we brought were not good machines and that they kept breaking down. No. The machines were factory fitted and the resolutions were very, very high in most cases. And we did not know this until when we deployed them. And we discovered that these resolutions had to be readjusted. And that explained why we did what we called, we deployed patches to readjust these machines to capture fingerprints and fingerprints in particular of people who registered. And this was done successfully. And because we had some challenges in the first 3 days of the exercise, the exercise had to be extended by a week to give Nigerians ample opportunity to register. In the end, we had 73.5 million people registered.
Sorry,
and
if I may
it is
interject,
not true that we have not been able to run AFIS.
Please permit me to
Nigerians should not be
interject
deceived.
here. Mr. Mega,
AFIS running is a continuous process.
Yes.
On daily basis during the voter registration exercise.
Mr. Omega, just a minute.
Allow me,
just a minute. Let me just quickly ask you this, because we need to clarify.
I have to explain. It's a
we don't have
to explain.
No, we don't have all the. No, we don't have all the time.
Somebody has misinformed Nigerians about what we did.
Okay.
And I have a responsibility as the spokesperson of the commission to explain.
Okay,
so
while you're doing the explanation, we just need to clarify issues. Do you have a full electronic register for all Nigerians that have registered? Yes. You do. Why was it not presented to the tribunal at the time that it was requested for?
It was not the voter register that was requested. You see, this was deliberate misinformation. What the CPC wanted was our database of registrants. And the court didn't give them that permission to, ask us to bring that. This database has photographs of registrants, biometrics of photographs, of registrants. And you have biometrics of a registrant or the ballot paper he or she thumbprints to vote. Now, if you make this database available to the political party as so